Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Stupid is being nice. You're an absolute moron.
Huh? It's a house!
Did you hear what I said?
It's a house!
Did you hear what I said?
It's a house! Huh? It's a house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
I was having a hard time finding my screen over here. Alright, how's it going, freaks? Alright. Yeah. Well, I got a hold of Adam Bartholomew, and before he only would have, he would tell me the time, because that's what his phone said. It said, or not his phone, whatever it was that he recorded it and uploaded, it said 12:04. That's all it would say. But I said, do you have any seconds on there? And then he tried something else, and there it was. He had the exact seconds. So I can now tell you within a second or a half, or we don't know what the frames were, but I can tell you exactly when the shot was. All right. So I've already kind of took the time to get it set up for you guys, but I'm going to go right to, so this is right when, well, that was a miracle what I just did there. All right, but here's what you can do. So the audio is off on here, so I'm going to unlink the two, the audio and the video, and then get it corrected. So you'll see this guy's face. Let me just play it normally here. Thanks, Mariska.
People have a right to live.
And that's kind of back to like the love one another.
Okay, so it's got to be right around in there.
So before we had a flag and we had it so it was positioned above the tent so it would be in the camp.
Okay, so you can see this guy wiggles. This is just what happens sometimes in video. If you save it or it's recorded in a certain way, the sync of the video and the audio are off. So we see him do that little jerk right there, right there. You're like, oh, that's when the shot actually is, like just before that, right? And then you can see down here on the WAV file that the audio is right there. So what that means is we have to, well, what I'll do is I'll actually move the top portion. So I think the audio would be, it's hard to know why something becomes unsynced, So I think I'm going to move this portion over to like right there, and then let's see how that works. That's a little too early for him. Let's see the lips of this guy now. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's a little too quick. Maybe just a little bit back from that. Oh wait, no, he needs to get forward. Right there, probably. Let's see. Yeah, see, that works. That was perfect. All right, let me just move this forward. Let's just see if the audio of the lip sync is good.
Love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race.
Yeah. See, it matches this guy really well too now. Thanks, Sally Cake. Hey, if you guys could please help support the channel tonight, it's another show. There we go.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you.
You gonna go down and see the get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camp. They made us move.
What was that?
Does that look pretty good now, you guys? I mean, it seems pretty close.
Jewish people and pro-Palestinian people. Just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camp. They made us move.
Right. So I think that's like right on the money within, point, 3 or 4 frames or something, right? All right. So then earlier let's see, let me go get the screenshot from Adam. So he sent it to me, and it's right here. So here's the original, and it's 12:04:20. Okay. Now, I guess you can adjust something, but it keeps the original the same. He didn't change it. That's why they're the same. But the original is 12:04 and 20 seconds. All right. So in Adobe Premiere, I have a time code here at 12:04:20. The reason it's black here is because I shifted the video over slightly to match the audio. And the audio, though, is all the way through the same. Okay, so look it's 12:04:20 at the very beginning of Bartholomew's video. In fact, it's like if I zoom in, you'll see what I'm talking about. So see, that's the amount I shifted it over there. It's not even a second. Let's see. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it's about, I don't know, 70% of a second. Like it's not quite a second. That's all the audio was off. All right. And I have it right at the beginning of his video. This is the full length clip. He didn't pause it at any time or anything. It ran continuously. So this is 12:04:20. So does everybody agree? And as a matter of fact, those zeros at the end, I think I can just crop them out. They're not needed for anything. So 12:04:20. Yeah. All right. So let me crop those out. Right there. Okay. And then we're going to go where the shot took place. And so now this should be really, really accurate. So here we go. We'll go to 23, right in here. Play it from here.
Both sides. We're just saying that
We're not advocating
Israel
for
is the one that's doing the most right.
We're pro-Jewish people and pro-Palestinian
We
people.
just think people should live and people have a right to live.
And
Those Google Trend videos are idiotic. Okay, sorry.
that's kind of back to like the love one another thing. It's like love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race, everything.
The fact that all of you guys keep bringing it up gives me a little hope. It's just, you guys will believe anything, man. I can't even recreate it. I know exactly how to use that tool, looked at exactly what he was saying, and it's not there.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love
Are
you
you gonna
too.
go down and see the get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camp.
There it is. 12:23:28 is when the shot took place. My guess has been recently 12:23:25, but that makes total sense, you know. So let's just look at the signature way down here at the bottom, right here. So when he does that little thing, that is 12. Let's see. Could be right around, it's right before 12:23:29. You know, but it's right, I would say 12:23:28, because if the audio is what was slightly off, then maybe it's the other direction, right? That's right there. See that? And that makes complete sense because we know that on surveillance, he's running on the top of, we at 12, 23, 34, you see him a little bit a ways on the roof. All right, you guys, we're having a massively slow start to the show, so if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, that would be great. You don't see other people being able to do the same kinds of stuff out there, so perhaps you guys can... And this is real information, not fake. Hey, everybody, did you see the Google Trends? You know, it's just... What difference would it... I mean, you guys really think that somebody's looking up something? That's just... It's crazy. Yeah, let's see. So that would be in here. So right at the beginning of this video, the one that the FBI put out, see, he's right there. So you go to the very first frame of it, right there, and it has the time of 12:23:34. And that absolutely is consistent with him immediately standing up and running over to here. And when you look on Google Earth, here we go. And that's right where I have it, 12:23:34 right there. This is my guess. It says it right there, 12:23:25. However, now we know that it's 12:23:28, just like that. And it makes sense because this distance here, this is where he's spotted on camera running at 12:23:34. And let's see, from right there, I don't know if we can measure it. Like, let me go up above and then try to do something from... Yeah, see, it's only 22 yards. And I think somebody can stand up and run 22 yards in 4 or 5 seconds. It's so easy. Okay? So, I mean, that would be a 20-second 100-meter dash. I mean, that's slow as hell, you know? So he gets up and he runs from that position. And that's why you see him on camera right there. So it makes complete sense. 12:23:28. So right now, you guys, we have 0 channel memberships, and we're at $3.98. How do we get to the goal tonight? This channel relies on the people watching for the income to the channel. We also donate thousands of dollars at the end of each month from the revenue that comes in, and we've given $265,000 over the last 6 years to true crime related charities, a DNA fund, a scholarship fund, and all kinds of other things. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. It gets really frustrating when we just sort of sit here treading water for, you know, my channel isn't like the other ones where you just sit there and stare at the screen for hours and hours and hours and don't support the channel. This one, I hope people do, you know, because you guys are it. I mean, everybody that does live streams, you guys are all they have, okay? Let's see. Hey, freaks, good job. Yeah, well, there you go. So we finally have the answer to the question. And that is, that's not the one. Oh, it's 51. That's the number. No, that wasn't even it. What the hell was the one? 50? I think it's 50. Yeah. Is it that one? Yeah, okay. Hey, thanks, Chris Cunningham. One person out of the 300 people watching heard me. Thank you.
Of this case has
Appreciate
been
it.
great.
Oh, and there's Wild Bill Wassman.
Let's go, freaks. Start a wave.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. So, If you got here late, I got a hold of Adam Bartholomew again. He tried it because we tried this before. This time he did something different. He went to some advanced setting, and he has the precise time that the video started. Okay, and I'm not sure why Koberger's down there, but the precise time was 12:04:20, the original. And I guess you can adjust something here for some, like maybe mountain time or whatever the hell you're doing. And you see it. Hey, thanks, Cold Truth. 57 months. Longer than your Netflix prescription. Thanks. Appreciate it. I didn't even know you were still watching or anything. Haven't seen you in a long time. So there you go. There you have it. It's 12:04:20 is when it started. And if you just got here late, I took an overlay here, and you can put the a time code in, and then adjust it and start it however whatever time you want it to be, just on the black video here. So I mean, if I remove this, all this would be is the time going all the way, you know, for however long you want it. 1300 would be its military time. But then you put it into Bartholomew's video, and I originally had it at 12:04:13. That was my offset originally, just as a guess, right? And then we just adjusted it, and when you get to 12:23, I fixed the audio too, by the way. So that's why it's black here, because I had to move the video about 20 frames over, because the audio and video lost their sync. Okay, now as you'll see, it's completely synced up. I think it's hilarious, these people out there that are so ignorant, you know, on video and stuff. They look at it and go, oh my God, that guy flinched before the gunshot. There's a conspiracy. And it's just like, man, you know, if you work with video at all, you see it all the time. Even on stuff you record yourself, your audio sync is off and you have to fix it. And a lot of times you can fix it in a program called Handbrake, where you bring your video in and then you export it back out, especially when you download YouTube videos. Hey, welcome, Shenanigan, or Shenanigan. Get it? Shenanigan. Hey, and thanks, Cheryl, for gifting a membership. Right, so a lot of times when you download a YouTube video or something, the audio gets off. So if you bring it into a free program called Handbrake, you bring it in there, and then you export it as, I think it was, let me just show you really quick. All right, so if you want to get this program called Handbrake out there, it's free. It just has an FBI tracker. I'm part of their continual tracking of all people out there. So when you download Handbrake, I'll get paid handsomely by the FBI to track you for using it, because of course I work for the FBI, and every single case that I ever cover, I think that as a compliment, though. You know, it's like, you guys think my work is so accurate and good that you think I work for the FBI. Right? There you go. So let's say you brought in the video. I'll actually do it with Bartholomew. I don't know if it'll fix his, but I'll just show you what it would look like. All right, so let's say you bring in the video right here, right? And, you know, tells you what the dimensions are, etc. And then the video over here, you put constant frame rate, not peak frame rate. And, you know, this is the quality over here. And then you just put where you want to put it, export it out. And it'll almost always fix like the YouTube videos. But, you know, that's just how I do it. It's called Handbrake. And no, I don't get any commission or anything. It's just this free program that's out there on the internet that a lot of people aren't aware of. What are you talking about? A2852. Nobody knows what you're saying, man. Let's see. All right. So if you look at it, you'll notice that their lips now match the words that they're saying.
thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love
Are
you
you gonna
too.
go down and see the? Get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded. We
It's
can't
just
get
there's
too
just
close.
so much. So
Before
much.
we had a flag and we had it so it was positioned above the tent so it would be in the camera. They just moved.
See that? Yeah, it's like right at the late 12:20, almost 12:23:29, and then he stands up, and then like I would say right now is when you see. Let's see. Let me get that video out. What happened to 91? No, it's 91. Is it way up there? Oh, I'll have to go get it here in a second. Oh, maybe it is this one. So right after that, so this is right before that. Here's that video. I stabilized this one. So watch how I stabilize it. See how the screen's moving around, but the guy stays in the same place. But it's interesting how when you look at it, and you can just see him laying there. And then the shot happens. And then there's one image out there where he's standing up, and you could even see the white part of his shirt there, interestingly. And then there's that really short video of him standing up and getting off the roof. So it was like, and then you could almost put this one right then. This is what he was doing. So he gets up and he just starts running away. All right, and then he runs across the roof over here. He's actually behind there now. Yeah, he's right there. Jesus, it's like stuck to my mouse. Hold on. Oh, there it is. And, you know, then he jumps down, blah, blah, blah. We've already gone over that a million times. But it makes sense, right? He only 22 yards in 6 seconds. You know, probably just quickly popped up, and then 4 or 5 seconds later, he's 20 yards away. So anyways, hope you guys found that at least mildly interesting. And so now this whole thing is synced up time-wise. This whole video here, you know, starts at 12:04:20, just like the properties showed of the video. All right, guys, we're currently at $13.97 and 3 gifted memberships. Absolute struggle for that quality of work. Influence that were witnesses and defense prosecution. Yeah, well, that is the number. Okay, so we now have the time. Of course, now you'll hear people say, hey, the time was at 12, and they won't credit where they got the information from. It's not 23:30 has been reported. And not that it really, you know, like, what matters about it is just putting the timeline together, and if other people have time on their videos, you can figure it out. Who cares about the guy in the green? The only person that matters in here is Tyler Robinson on the roof. He was the shooter, and when the shot took place. I mean, the guy in the green, who cares about a guy in the green? This isn't a conspiracy channel, you guys. There's zero evidence at this time that there was any other person involved in the shooting of Charlie Kirk other than Tyler Robinson. There's nothing. I know you guys have tried, you've put a lot of effort in, and you're out there trying to find some other boogeyman, but it's not happening for you. I'm sorry. Okay, it's just not working out for you. It's frustrating, I'm sure, but there's absolutely, at this point, zero, and I mean like literally zero evidence of any other person at all. Okay? That's it. Now, there is evidence that he was on Discord and communicating with people, you know, and if that one video of him at that shopping mall is him, you know, that's still sort of interesting how that one car pulls up behind him in a not, you know, in an actual parking stall, and then they both pull out. I mean, if you're parked in a parking stall, you're not required to move, but the other car went right behind him, and then they both move forward. That's a little weird, you know. We don't know what that is, or, you know, if it's anything. It just could be coincidence. Man, where are all the freaks tonight, man? This is just getting nutty in here. Just dead as a doornail. I'm so sick of all the conspiracy theories. I come to your channel to get a dose of common sense and sanity. Yep. That's what they say. And I also have all of the surveillance now right here. So later on we can watch every single bit of it. You know, still I wish I had the original version that TMZ has that they butchered. You know, and this isn't really surveillance, but I'm putting it in there because it's crucial video. Yeah, let's go surfing, Michelle. Not sure what's happening tonight. Yeah. And so this video is still interesting here, right? Like if that is him, apparently that's his vehicle right there. And he's not in, so let's just get him all the way when he pulls in, I think. See, notice how he's in front of that pole. That means he's in a parking stall facing backwards. You know, like as if you had backed in. Well, Michelle, you gotta, you know, get it started, or you know, I don't know what to say. Some ballistic investigation. I've got money for actual evidence, not hearsay. Yeah, I don't really. We don't get to do ballistics. Law enforcement has that. Okay. Hard pass for what? Justice. Nobody knows what you're talking about. So you see the car, it's in the parking stall there. And then there's this car right here. It's just sort of sitting there and there's a person in it the whole time. And then that car pulls away, right? And then it actually comes back again. Right.
Motion wave emoji.
I think I missed it.
Emoji.
Right there. So it pulls that way and then it comes back. See, there it is right here. And then right when it comes there, they drive away together at the same time. See? Like, that's kind of weird. You know, to be honest with you. It's just a strange thing there.
Cases you choose to cover on your channel.
Hard pass. His video. I don't even know what you're referring to. Thanks, Allie Cake and Chris Cunningham. I love the channel and cases you cover. Is there a specific reason or pattern behind the true crime cases you choose to cover? I don't have a pattern. I mean, currently you have to cover the cases that are more popular. That's just the way it is these days. It used to be when there was not as many true crime YouTubers, I could cover whatever I wanted to cover, and we could cover all kinds of stuff. But you can't make it as a channel unless you're covering the stuff that everybody wants to talk about. Plus, I'm interested in this one. So it's usually, the pattern usually is something that I'm interested in. You know, because I know I can figure stuff out. Thanks, Michelle H. He planned he was waiting. We don't know if he was waiting for anybody. We don't have any idea, you know, first of all, we don't know if this is actually him, because law enforcement didn't release this. All right. You can't post videos in here. I just don't know what you're referring to. Yeah, you can't post videos inside in my chat. You can't. You have to send me an email. I don't know what you're talking about. Just tell me what you're referring to. Yeah, anyways, this right here, you know, it is interesting, right? You got to admit. Because he's not parked. There's a little road right here on the side that any car could just drive down. I mean, so let's just go to it. I'll show you. That's why it's sort of unusual. Because, I mean, I went there, by the way. I mean, I went right to the spot and everything. And I have 360-degree video. So here's the light pole. You can see the shadow of it right there. He pulls in and he's parked right there facing that way. So why would another car go right behind him when the entire sort of lane here is open? You see how odd that is? So I can't, like, this is one of those ones I can't say, oh, wow, that doesn't mean shit. You know, to me, it's strange. Why would this car go behind this car? And then this one, you know, I guess we have to know, is that really him or not, right? So then it's right there and it's pulling forward, and then the other car follows it slowly right with it. Why wouldn't it just, when it came back in, drive right by it like that? Why? It's just, it's crazy. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Steam, yeah, quit spamming the chat. It's just not that interesting. Okay, thanks. You keep typing over and over and over again, trying to promote your shit, and I'm just not interested. All right, thanks. The guy running in the crowd wearing red was, well, yeah, that's not him. Yeah, there's a picture on YouTube or on Twitter where that same guy's just sitting there, and it's definitely not Tyler Robinson or anybody. It's not Twigs or just a dude. But, you know, you got to admit it's weird that it pulls in. And why wouldn't it just sit there if he wants to park? Why would you move for a car that's trying to pull through the same parking stall? That's just crazy. You know, so that's weird. And not only that, this is the vehicle and it stays there the whole time. It's almost like it's like looking over there or something. You know, and then, so this is the vehicle right here, watch. And then it pulls away, and then in a minute it comes back, and this is Tyler Robinson's vehicle, apparently.
We all love Grant and his content, so let's help him to keep making the content we all love.
And then look, it pulls right behind it, and again it's on the other side of the pole, and then they both sort of drive off slowly. Like, that's kind of interesting, don't you think? Thanks, Chris Cunningham. Yeah, this has been a really, really brutal, slow, shitty, you know, start to a night so far. Thank you. Yeah, it's just so, you know, that part is interesting, right? And then apparently later, you know, the next day, I guess right here I would put the let's see, where is it? Yeah, that part right there. I would throw this right in here, the Dairy Queen. So it'd be like that, and then Dairy Queen shot right here, and then the next day you have this one. So I've got all of the different sort of shots here, and maybe we can sort of watch that in order later. Yeah, we don't use the word sus here, okay? Can't stand that one. Who got rude with anybody, little outlaw Whitaker? Why do you say such stupid things? Yeah. Yeah, just send me an email with it. Steam Saga. Okay, here it is, right here. There it is, right there. Okay, send an email there if you want to. Imagine believing that Charlie was shot from the front with an 06 and and it hit him in the throat, but then traveled from C2. And you're one of the most naive people I've ever heard in my life, okay? You know, when you say stuff like that, you just come across as a lunatic. To be honest with you, we don't know what type of bullet it was. We don't know if it fragmented. We don't know anything. You know, I don't give a damn if you want to claim you're a sniper. Hey, listen, you know what I was? I was a Green Beret battalion member when I was, you know, we don't know. I have never been in the military. We don't know what you are, and I don't give a damn what you think you want to tell everybody you are. It doesn't mean, you know what it doesn't mean? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you know any more than anything else about this case, okay? I've covered true crime. That's what this is. It's a crime for many, many years now. And I got to tell you, the people that are the most off in this case are the shooter types that keep coming up with all their channels. You guys are way off, okay? It's embarrassing. And you're really creating huge issues because your claim of being an expert has really sort of derailed the factual information of the case. I don't really care. I'm going to have to put you on timeout, man. It's just not interesting. All right? Go sell your shit somewhere else. Yeah, and you're going to get that response whenever you come into a show and you make your absurd comment that you started off with. Imagine thinking. Well, you know what? I'm going to be right in this case, and you're going to be wrong. Okay? That's how it's going to turn out. You are going to be wrong. The bullet was fired from Tyler Robinson's gun. We don't know what type of bullet it is yet. And every time shots happen, bullets do weird things, man. You make it sound like it's 100% that and you're basing it on if it was like a full metal jacket, 30-06. Okay, we don't know what it was. All right, so quit the. Hey, everybody! Imagine being so stupid that you think it wouldn't have gone through. It's insane, man. Just a low-grain bullet weight. We don't know what the hell kind of bullet it was. You can see the hole that went through. And you know what's amazing? I just watched a video. There's like a repository that was posted on Twitter, and I went there, and I was able to. I found a video that shows that there is he's just sitting there and he's got his eyes closed and his neck's totally exposed. And then one frame later is when the shirt was way up like that, it went way up in the air. And then like 2 frames later it's down and then there's this hole there. Well, what that means is if you literally could have seen the bullet enter his neck, it would have been like this. It would have came in, from this side like that. And you would have seen it. Like if it was a 1,000 frames per second video or something, you would have seen it come in like this, and then the disbursement of energy went so quickly that his shirt pops up, and then it settles down, and then there's the hole. That's exactly what I think is happening. It's just literally one frame. It does this massive movement, and it's 30 frames a second. I just don't know why people want to show up and pretend that, like law enforcement and everything that's put out by the actual prosecution is complete garbage because they can't perceive of a 30-06. I'm a pro-military person, and I appreciate everybody's service, and I'm always thankful, but when they come in and try to use that as clout to tell everybody that they're wrong, and there's no way in hell that a bullet can ever do whatever, that's what I can't stand. I can't stand it at all, man. And thank you all for your service and everything. But, all these channels that are popping up, pretending they're experts on everything and investigating and stuff like that, it's getting really old. All right? It's getting really, really old. No, I don't care about a red hat cop. Yeah, the shooter is Tyler Robinson. Yeah, it's so clear, It's just Right. That's what caused the shirt to poof and pull. That's even more horrible. I think it was all the energy. I think the bullet went in not straight. Like it didn't. I think it was sort of yawing, or you know, some action was happening, and that's just my opinion. And it goes in, and because of that, there was so much more energy on the surface. It was like, and in one frame, it was so much energy that the shirt popped way up. It's crazy. All right, guys. So how are we going to get the support for the channel up? We're almost here, like close to an hour now, and we're literally at like 1/6 of reaching a goal. Not even a sixth. It's just not. It's not happening. Okay, so I'm not sure what the issue is here tonight, but you know, I'm here. I'm doing my show. I mean, the official story makes perfect sense. I know it does make perfect sense. It's like one of the most obvious things in the world. Right, I'm gonna go look at this other thing. This might be a short night. We'll see how it goes. This is brutal. I guess if I was still selling this conspiracy, I just saw somebody live doing conspiracies. Man, it looked like a bingo machine. But here we are again, having to ask 1,000 times over and over and over again. Right, here is the gag order. Now, apparently Candace Owens is saying, I'm going to break the gag order. Well, hey, Candace, you aren't part of the gag order. You have nothing to do with the gag order. Nothing about you has anything to do with the gag order at all, okay? So if you're claiming that and then all of a sudden you start talking, you're going to be, oh, look, I'm a martyr, everybody. No, you're not. You're a liar. Okay, that's what the truth is. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Man, it's like pulling teeth. Defendant Tyler James Robinson is charged with 1 count of aggravated murder and other felonies. This case has generated and is likely to continue to generate significant pre-trial and trial publicity. That publicity can compromise Defendant Tyler James Robinson's right to due process of law, as well as other parties' right to a fair, impartial jury trial. So here's the order. Lawyers who have participated, who are now participating, or will yet participate, I don't know how you would know if you're going to, in the investigation or litigation of this case, in any way shall abide strictly by Rule 3.6 of the Utah Rules of Professional Conduct. Rule 3.6 prohibits a lawyer from making any extrajudicial statement that the lawyer knows or reasonably should know will be disseminated by means of public communication and will have a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing and adjudicative proceeding in the matter. Okay, is Candace Owens a lawyer for anybody? Has anything to do with this case? Lawyers who have participated, who are now participating, or will yet participate in the investigation or litigation of this case shall not intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly permit a witness, investigator, consultant, staff member, or other member of the prosecution or defense team to make extrajudicial statements which, if made by the lawyer, would violate Rule 3.6. To that end, lawyers participating in the investigation or litigation of this case shall inform all witnesses, investigators, consultants, staff members, or other members of the prosecution or defense teams about the prohibition contained in the order. Hey, thanks, Nader Vader. The prosecution order applies to lawyers who are not participating in the investigation or litigation of this case, but who are associated with the Utah County Attorney's Office. See, Candace Owens doesn't come close to being restricted by this court order. Don't you agree? I mean, what does she have to do with any of this? This has nothing to do with her. Yeah, it doesn't matter. People can talk to witnesses. All this is talking about is the lawyers. The protection order applies to lawyers who are not participating in the investigation or litigation of this case, but who are associated with the Utah Attorney's Office or associated with defense counsel. She has nothing to do with this. Yeah, anybody can try to talk to anybody. She's not prohibited. And not nowhere in here does it talk about witnesses or anything, right? It just talks about the lawyers. They can't say anything. It proves that YouTube are suppressing channels. I don't know what it proves. All I know is tonight is a night where, like I said before, my channel relies on the people watching to support the channel on a nightly basis. And tonight, for some reason, it's just a ghost town. We're really struggling in here. So if you guys have the ability to, I would appreciate it. So I don't have to keep asking over and over and over again. You guys know what we do. When bullets hit target, they put a shockwave. Yeah, I know. I've gone over that 100,000 times. And I think that if it comes in sideways, there's much more energy dispersed on the surface. Like if it doesn't go in point first, spiraling, you're going to get that. Oh, yeah. So it's just Candace Owens. Okay. Where does it? I don't see her name in there. Let's see. At the last hearing 3 weeks ago, the judge said witnesses would be under gag order also. Okay, well, that's great. But Candace Owens isn't a witness. Look at that. It's Paramount Tactical. Gary. Where does it say that? Are you being sarcastic? Because I don't see her name anywhere. The order does not prohibit lawyers from making statements permitted by rule. But anyways, if you missed the first part of the show, we know that the shot occurred at 12:23:28, right around that time. Within a half second of that. What do you mean, dude, I'm so wrong? What the hell are you even talking about, man? The name right here does not say any. Candace Owens' name is not in there, and nor is she an attorney associated with the case. I think the shot came from the ground. I think she's trying to get I'm not sure. Oh, she's in there. You just have to go
She's in there.
to the light and squint real hard while holding. All right, let me try it. Wait a minute. There's a C right there, an A. Look at that. Oh my God, look at. They hid the name in there. Look at, there's a C right there, an A here, and then look at an N right there. Holy crap, you guys. I think we're onto something. And then a D. I think that's how she spells her name. And then there's an S right there. Holy crap. And then there's even a W and an O there. So O-W-E-N and an S right there. Wow. She's definitely in there. Although I think it's C-A-N-D-A-C-E or something, isn't it? Now we could figure it out. Yeah. Thank you, and thank you, Vicky Cobb. Yeah, we're all in there. Shit. I mean, I work for the FBI, right? So if we go through this slowly, I think we can definitely make a case. Although I don't think there might not be a lot of G's in here. Maybe they just snuck one. Oh, there's one right there. Look at G, R, A, and then, where is it? I just saw it a minute ago. Right there, Y. Wow, you see the code that led to that? Da Vinci Code, yeah. Pull up the White Hat Tom's phone. Why do I want to look at the... I don't care about the three lights on his phone. You guys are still talking about the 3 dots on his phone? That guy had nothing to do with anything, you guys. It's just like a reflection or the sun or some kind of light from another source that has nothing to do with anything. How come you're still focused in on stuff like that? That's kind of scary, to be honest. You're so undercover at the FBI work that they don't even know you're working for them. Okay, now, hold on. This came out today, right? I got to go over this one. The Dry Run Revisited. Some guy on Twitter. Let me see if his name's at the end. We doubt the... You know, it's just we doubt. I mean, who's we? You know, like, what is this crap? So here's their story. The Dry Run Revisited, everybody. Because I came up with the Dry Run because I figured out that the time frame was 10:08-ish when Tyler Robinson walks by, you know, and it's I have it right here. So these are the original videos. This is at 9:57 right here, right? This one. And then the next shot is this one. And this is at, you know, based on the shadows, I did the whole shadow research, it's right around 10:10. And it makes complete sense. That's exactly the amount of time it takes to walk there. I timed it yesterday using my X5, you know, Insta360. I walked the whole route, kind of not quick or anything, and it was just like this. Exactly the same. If you were here, you would have seen it. All right. So, you know, right around this time, if you watch the end of this over here, see how he's kind of like 3 or 4 feet out into the street? And then he's walking, and then right past... That guy should get out in the sun a little bit. His legs look like he's got white... Yeah, that was my audio there. Look how he's right next to the curb now because he's about to cut across the grass. All right, and I think that was his dry run. All right, I put that out there. And so then here we have is this right here. Listen to this. Isn't this awesome? We will revisit the dry run of Tyler Robinson before the assassinated Charlie Kirk on 10 September 2025. But this needs revisiting first because there's this secret group of Reddit specialists, because we have realized that the putative time of the dry run was probably 2 hours later. Second, that we had not considered what we now take to be the earliest footage in Orem of a man looking like Tyler Robinson that day, and a third, to further discuss some points raised in the thread in which we tweeted out article, namely, and there's the article. Let's recap the point that article, which appears in an appendix below, and explain why we now think it's wrong-headed. So we were particularly interested in a video outside a property that we wanted to geolocate, and which was suspicious to us because it suggested that Tyler Robinson was doing a dry run at around 8 a.m. when his vehicle only arrived on campus at around 8:30. Right, that never made sense to me, so that's why I did the shadow research. Hey, thank you. Shenanigans. Get it? Shenanigans. I'm mentioned in here. That's why I'm reading this. Okay. Right. So the thing is, remember how it was 8:07? That's why I looked into it, because to me it looked like it was just a continuation of the 9:57 look. Okay. When the car drove by at 8:30 or 8:23 by that house, I think that's when it went onto campus. And then he got out of his car. It might have even scouted out the area and found how to get up onto the stairs. And then he attempted and tested out a dry run at, the 10:10 time frame. That makes some sense, doesn't it? Moreover, we had noticed that the FBI and friends were coy even to reference that video, which seemed to us the source of the very idea that Tyler Robinson was wearing a maroon shirt. This occasioned an epistemological problem. And this is like, I typed on Twitter, this is like so overthinking. It's crazy. How could they know such a thing in the first place so as to recognize it in the CCTV? We spelt out the awkwardness in detail. Here we can explain that the 8:07 a.m. dry run footage, I'm not sure why you guys came up with 8:07 dry run or even thought of a dry run at 8:07. I don't think you did. I think I said it was a dry run, and then you went, oh, well, we think it was 8:07. Was put out by Fox-owned TMZ with no timestamp. That was just like a video of him walking. Wait, hold on. I'm going to put this in. I'm enjoying the daily new conspiracies. People will reject obvious evidence for the thrill of something novel and fake. It genuinely is interesting to observe. Yeah, I mean, you could almost study it, you know? Gray, for the love of God, stop the conspiracies. Robinson is innocent until proven guilty. Hey, you know what? Yes, there's a trial, and Tyler Robinson will, with a jury, be determined to be guilty. I believe 100%, though, that Tyler Robinson is the killer. Just like you thought OJ was the killer, right? And you said, oh, that guy did it, man. But because you want to be a conspiracy nut job, in this case, you're not going to say that. I'm just telling you right now that out of all the years that I've covered true crime, this is one of the strongest cases I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. Now you'll go, what do you mean, Gray? There's no evidence at all. I mean, you guys are insane. Yeah, I mean, you know what the one I like the most is there's no evidence that Tyler Robinson took the shot on the roof. And I mean, it's like, what planet are you living on? Okay, the gun, I mean, okay, he's on, a shot was fired. You see a guy with an elongated item jump off the roof with it wrapped in a black towel. He runs into the woods. They see him on camera do this. Then law enforcement goes into the woods. They find the rifle and the towel. And then they track with dogs where Tyler Robinson went. And then they found the footage that shows him running behind in the dirt area behind the house away. And when they found the gun, the DNA matched Tyler Robinson on the trigger and 3 of the 4 bullets. Even the fired one. Okay, and it was on all the rest of the rifle and the towel. He just wasn't able to go retrieve it, just like he said in the text messages. And then, as if this doesn't matter, his parents recognized him as the person that had just gone through the tunnel and up the stairs into the parking garage. That's it, man. I mean, it's like, just that alone is enough to go. It's not reasonable to believe something else. Right? Now, you're welcome to say whatever the hell you want. I'm just going to say what I'm saying. I think Tyler Robinson is without a doubt the shooter in the case. I don't have any doubt at all. There's nothing lingering or any kind of, Now, the ballistics still has to come out to satisfy people, but it's going to match. I can tell you. They're going to figure it out. All right, anyways, right here it says, here we can explain that the 8:07 a.m. dry run footage was put out by Fox-owned TMZ with no timestamp, and that it was only from them that we knew about the timing. And Candace said the timing too. In fact, the location turned out to be co-owned, we think, by Irwin Steele, and his home is next to the house owned by his brother. Who cares? Just after the shooting, again, we got this Phil Lyman thing. You guys are crazy people, man. How many times are you guys going to bring up Phil Lyman? He has nothing to do with anything, okay? And later appeared on Fox. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be trying. I'm not speaking to a specific person out there, Paramount, if you're still watching, all right? I'm just going over my thoughts. Now, if somebody questions something, I'll try to sound normal. But if you come in here and try to be like, oh, you guys are crazy, a 30-06 would, that's just not gonna, it's not gonna work, all right? The state has a very strong case, practically 0 holes. Right. Well, the fact that it's so strong, that's why the lunatics out there think it's a conspiracy, because, wow, how could something be so strong? Well, I mean, how many cases can you ask that? Every one, there's so many cases out there where these people, you know, maybe have committed the crime with some intelligence, but missed so many things that you just go, wow, what an idiot. I like the one yesterday when somebody said Tyler Robinson isn't the, what did they say? They said, you know, he isn't, Tyler Robinson was there, but he isn't the lone shooter. Okay. And then I said, okay, well, you're saying that there's multiple shooters. If he's not the lone shooter, that means you think there's multiple shooters. So you're admitting that he fired a shot, but only one shot was heard. And if his bullet didn't hit Charlie, where did his bullet go? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm going to try. If somebody asks me a direct question, I'm going to try, though. Oh, yeah. I've been doing better, though. Come on, freaks. You guys saw that, right? Lately, the one earlier, though, they came in and with the insult first. That's not going to work. Yeah, what people always say, yeah, I'm not a gun expert or anything like that. I've heard a lot of people talking about guns. I have common sense, and you know, and I look stuff up too. Like, you can ask, you know, I mean, people don't think ChatGPT, but you can, you know, bullets don't always do what you think they're going to do. You know, the guy that you're talking about that had the 3 little lights on his phone? He had a guest on that was like a prosecutor or somebody, and that guy explained the whole thing. I mean, it was amazing. Too bad people haven't watched it, but they did like his interview, and it was great. He went and explained how many cases. He's had tons of cases where a bullet enters somewhere and then it ricochets up and comes out, and nobody can really explain, you know, why. You know, like, oh my God, that's because it hit here and it went like this and it went like this. Oh, hey, have a good one. Good night. Yeah, let's do another one pretty soon. Yeah, cool. Have a good one. Hey, thanks for the super chat, too. Appreciate it. Well, you know what's going to be the best body camera footage, if it exists, is when Tyler Robinson approached an officer on the scene while he was looking to try to get that rifle and towel. That's going to be crazy, right? I mean, we don't know if he had a body camera on, but you would think he might. Wouldn't that be incredible? God. But it's just a look-alike. It's not really him, you see. That's AI. You ever notice that? That all the conspiracy, every single thing's explained by AI or a conspiracy, instead of just, Why am I being... Because Robinson's the killer. KSS saw, I mean, right? I mean, why am I being so accusing of Robinson? Because he's the killer. That's why. It's weird. I know that's strange, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, guys, we're struggling tonight, so if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, as we try to tell you guys, you know, basically on the live streams, we rely on you who are watching to support the channel. They're basically, and if you have like a question, you can put it in a super chat. Somebody today said that I only read questions that are in super chats. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. As a matter of fact, for some reason on my channel, people don't put questions in super chats. It's just, they just support the channel with it. You know, yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Lisa Belson. Look at that, you guys. Crazy. Very kind, very kind. All right, let me get back to this. This only added to our suspicions. We knew that any putative dry run must also appear on the Samuel Steele CCTV, which tends to bear a timestamp, but that it has never surfaced. Why? I don't even know who that is. Lyman told us that he saw it for the first time only when appearing on Fox, but that later his cousin, who can only be Samuel, showed up to him on his phone. Lyman has never been willing to make any public statements about that unseen dry run despite requests. I don't know where that address is on that. Let's add a few points that we have aired in various places. That, as Fox reported, Irwin Steele's camera, a WYZE by the look of it, was removed by the police, as well as his SD card, or SIM as he called it. But we have no... Okay, so they're saying that that guy is the first house, the first original TMZ video. We have speculated here that whereas Irwin's neck door had standalone surveillance device, Samuel likely paid a subscription, and his surveillance cloud sync. Likely the brother felt no need to pay twice, but one consequence of this, that the FBI had no need to come in. What? Have you ever seen any overthinking of anything? I said that on Twitter. I go, this is the most overthought question, or, you know, article, or whatever you want to call it, I've ever seen. Samuel's camera. Moreover, Samuel could presumably retain full access to the footage, likely via a phone app. Irwin, on the other hand, would probably lack such access after his camera was taken away that Wednesday. I bet you he still has cloud storage. The FBI took away the SD card. That's why TMZ was able to get a copy of it, because rest assured, law enforcement had the video before TMZ did. What are you talking about? What camera? 7, the sun. What are you talking about? What are you referring to? God, you guys, it's just, yeah, it is strange that people take... Candace Owens has put out no accurate information yet. When are you guys going to wake up and go, the camera in back of Charlie. Yeah, who cares? She said she saw that video, and, you know, actually I think it's possible she may have seen it. I guess that would be not accurate. It's funny, people come in here for 5 minutes and try to dispel everything discussed on here over a month of videos. Yeah. It's crazy. But anyways, look at right here. My name starts showing up in here. TMZ received the footage from the FBI, and unless they removed the timestamp, they were likely told by them that it was timed. So they do have, that looks right, that they got it from the FBI. Or I think they got it from the homeowner, actually, that had it on a cloud. They were likely told by them that it was timed at 8:07 a.m. If so, however, they were misinformed. I think that actually came from Candace Owens said that, and then TMZ wrote that on there, because TMZ didn't originally have 8:07 on the video. It seemed to show up later. I don't know, actually, specifically, but I don't remember. On the first videos, they didn't have a time on that. However, they were misinformed, for Grant Hughes has argued convincingly that the shadows indicate that the dry run was actually made around 10. Of course, that's perfectly feasible if Tyler Robinson had arrived in Orem 90 minutes earlier. Accordingly, much of our reasoning now seems flawed. Okay, at least you're admitting that, you know, now that, you know, the 8:07 was bothersome. So that's why I did the shadow analysis, because when you look at this right here, look. So when you watch this video right here, see how the shadow is, you know, aiming in that direction? I know that the other camera's over there, and just looking at him and the clothing and everything. And then all of a sudden, you come over here, and not that one, it's this one, right here. Well, everything looks the same. So I thought, I think that's right after that. And he just walked around. How many times did I tell you guys that prior? That I thought that... so he's walking right here in this direction. And I said, now that we have footage over here, I think he just walked around like this and then went this way. Now, I timed that. It takes 10 minutes, just walking at just a casual pace. And so right over here, it's 9:57, almost 9:58. And then, so I think he got over here at 10:08-ish, right around there on this camera. And then I think he cut across. There's a fence here, right? So there's nowhere to go. You're pretty much funneled into the tunnel right there. But anyways, you guys, we're having these massive lulls tonight. Any chance we can get that moving here? We need another, I don't know, 30, minimum of like 30 channel memberships to get to a reasonable goal. I don't know what to say, but we're just staggering along. Did you hear about the confirmed line of sight from upper arch roof? I don't know. There's no confirmed any. I just the only line of sight I care about is where Tyler Robinson was, and it was confirmed. Stick around. We'll show you all the information that's in here. Okay. You'll see that all here in a few minutes. I'm just trying to read this. That said, we harbor suspicions about the misdirection regarding the time. How do you know it's And then, by the way, why am I suspicious when I'm the one that corrected the timeline? Wouldn't I keep going with theirs? I thought you guys said I was being paid by the FBI. Now, a cursory glance at Hughes suggests that he has a very high degree of investigative acumen. Thank you. Along with detailed knowledge as to what is going on. Well, I don't have any more knowledge than any one of you should have, because I don't have any inside sources or anything in this case. I just look at stuff. And I look at it through the true crime lens that I've been doing for 10 years. We can see, and then he says, knowledge of what is going on, coupled with completely uncritical acceptance of everything the FBI says. I mean, that is so ludicrous. Every single thing that the FBI put out, I've looked at and compared it with what we see in surveillance and the timing and everything, and it makes sense. And by the way, it's not always the FBI. The prosecutors, the detectives, all those people. That's how the prosecutor came up with the probable cause document. It says we can see how from the start he was much better informed than us on matters we spent considerable time on, such as the exact second that Kirk was shot. Well, I actually know it now. I didn't even know it exactly. I thought it was 25. And if you guys have watched my show, I figure it all out while we're doing this. Right? You guys have seen it, right? See, Chris Cunningham's going for the lull repellent that the freaks somehow tonight are ignoring. It's like we need to get the ball rolling here. It's crazy.
Lull repellent.
We can see how from the start he was much better informed than us. Well, you know what it is? It means I'm just better at covering true crime than you are. You know what I mean? Because what they're implying is that I'm being fed information by the FBI and investigators. We can see how from the start he was much better informed than us on matters we spent considerable time on. Well, it just means you're not very good. Such as the exact second that Kirk was shot or the geolocation of the houses we eventually tracked out. Right, so the houses that the surveillance came from. Don't you guys remember on the shows where I literally went and found the houses based on the cracks on the ground? Because this is what I do. If you watched last night, I found the location of a camera shot based on the homes and everything, because that's what I'm good at. You know? You haven't covered anything. Nobody knows what that means. Broken truck heart, you know. Why don't you type a good sentence, man? That's just ridiculous. Let's see. You clearly have watched any of his videos then, bro. I don't know who broke. What does NGL stand for? I have no idea. I mean, if you were here, you saw me actually figure these things out. Oh, you haven't covered anything, not going to lie, but it's whatever. What do you mean I haven't covered anything? You're an idiot. I mean, where do you come from? My God. Is there one single thing that implies a shooter was other than... No, there's not. Here's the thing. There's zero information that implies that there was another shooter or that there was anybody other than Tyler Robinson. There is nothing out there. People pretend there's stuff. Like you got that Valhalla clown. Every single day he keeps telling people that as we know, he did not have a rifle in his pants. And I'll say, but we've seen video. Okay, Matt Kester has a video showing somebody that's similar, who had the rifle broken down into two parts, one down the right side and the other down the left side, and it looked exactly the same. But everybody just keeps watching and going, oh, you're right, you're right, you're right. And it's just doing a disservice. Well, because he's berate worthy, recovery Chad. Unfortunately, people like you believe garbage, and he knows he's putting out bullshit because I've sent him the video of Matt Kester, and I've said, hey, check this thing out. It shows you right here. Look, this one shows this. Look, this one, forget it. Because it doesn't fit the story he wants to tell all of his viewers, okay? So, that's exactly what I think. Sorry. Oh, you assume way too much, son. What the hell are you talking about? Assume too much of what? So right here it says, we can see how, from the start, Gray was much better informed than us on matters we spent considerable time on, such as the exact second that Kirk was shot. Well, I just figured it out today, so. Or the geolocation of the houses we eventually tracked down. We could have saved ourselves the effort had we watched his videos. But we can also observe that at first he followed TMZ, FBI, with regards to the timing of the dry run. No, I didn't. I always thought 807 just didn't sound right. I didn't even call it a dry run at that point because I didn't know what it was. And it was only thanks to his work that we came to realize that was wrong. His analysis can be accessed via this tweet. Right. Hughes has got the FBI out of a pit, so wow, I was able to get them out of the... yeah, thank you, FBI. I'll make sure when I get my next check, You assume I believe him. I don't know what you're saying. No, I don't mind somebody challenging me. But you guys, all the conspiracy nutters like yourself, Recovery Chad, you don't need to block those comments, you guys. You don't challenge me with anything that's worthy. It's like there's nothing that you say. It's always like, when conspiracy theorists challenge people, they, what do you call it? They challenge with, like, information that you can't disprove, but it's absurd. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here we go. Did you hear about the confirmed line of sight from the upper arched roof of... Why do you keep typing that in? Who cares if there's a line of sight? There's line of sight everywhere. How is the old man not the shooter conspiracy, Gray? How is the old man not the shooter? I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. I wasn't even talking to you. I don't even know who you are. How did you figure out the time of the shot? Okay, I'm going to go back and I'll have to show it again. So look, I got the Adam Bartholomew sent me this screenshot because he'd sent out a screenshot, and it says right here that the video started at 12:04. Okay, but that's not specific enough in seconds. So I asked him if he had the precise time. So he tried some other thing and adjust date and time. The original time was 12:04 and 20 seconds, right? So now they actually have the seconds in there. And then I guess you can adjust a time, but he didn't do it. That's why the adjusted time is the same as the original time. So the original time is 12:04:20. All right. So I took his entire video when it started. This is the original that the copy that he had. And if you go to the very beginning, it's at 12:04:20. And the reason it's dark in there is because I had to take the video and sync it up to the audio. And I'm using the audio, so it's it could be off by a half second because it's 24 frames. It was off. You know how the audio, that one kid goes before the shot? That's because the out of sync audio and video. And then if you watch this right here, here's at 12:23:09.
Love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you
You're gonna
too.
go down and see get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camera.
See that? And this guy's voice matches and his shiver matches.
Made us move.
Right. So the shot came in at. I'll just do it like a 21. It's at 28, almost 29. So here's it. Watch the kid with the dark hair. Boom. So that means the shot has already happened. And right now it's 12:23:28. See that? And then 29. But it's really close to that time frame. Like 28, 29, something. It's right in here. Okay? That makes sense? And so that makes complete sense if you realize that from on the roof over here, I've already updated it, 12:23:28. He stands up and he runs because at 12:23:34 he's right there, which is only 22 yards away. Absolutely makes sense. Everything makes sense. It's awesome. All right. But hey guys, if you're out there watching, if you have the ability to help support the channel, maybe put a super chat in with a question or something like that, or buy some channel memberships for people. We're really struggling tonight, so if you have the ability to, that would be fantastic. We're getting near the end of the month. I'm actually going to have a couple days off coming up, so we're going to be really behind the 8 ball trying to get through the end of the month. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could do that. Thank you. That makes sense? Did you get did I give it to you right there? Gray, you're full of it, man. Oh, Jesus. The low-C footage starts at around... Hey, listen to me. I just gave you the information, okay? You're incorrect. Yeah. Hey, there's Lisa Belson again. Wow, you guys. So why Lisa Belson's always helping out. It'd be great if some of the rest of you could help support the channel instead of the same... it's like I feel bad. Thank you, Lisa Belson. Alright, so you see the timer up there? Now watch. If you go back to the beginning of it, it starts at 34. Now it's close to 35, but that's the number that's on the screen. So you could even give it a little extra, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a quarter of a second later it's 35, but it starts with the 34 at the beginning of it. And if you look where he is, he's right there. So He's got about 5 or 6 seconds to get to 6 seconds maybe to get from where he was, stand up, and just go 22 yards. Thank you, Lisa Belson. Very kind. Let's get some more rock stars in here, though. You know. Which one is this? 51. Oh yeah, this is my other one. Hey, thanks, Jim Lawn. Very cool, very cool. Okay, YouTube handle. Just let me do my own show. I know what I'm doing. I don't need your extra little, you know. It's just, it's wild. Hey, thanks again, Chris Cunningham. There's no evidence because nobody is effing looking. There's evidence all over the place. And by the way, you guys, I did go to a house and I got extra footage. When you say nobody, you're clueless, okay? The other people that live there, when you try to approach them, they ignore you. They just shut their doors. I tried doing it. Hughes has got the FBI out of a pit. Tyler was not doing an impossible dry run before he arrived on the scene. Right, it's not. What it just means is people didn't. The FBI didn't give anybody 807. See, this guy's assuming that the FBI gave TMZ 807. Turning now to our second point, we had tended to overlook some footage that now would seem significant, in that it represents the earliest Orem sighting of Tyler look-alike that has. Let's see. Hitherto come to light. Jesus. Hughes has mentioned it after it had first emerged. And again, it seems that he has visited the area a month later and acquired extended and additional footage somehow. The footage is associated with, that's the daughter, you know, and has entered the public domain one day after Tyler Robinson was charged. That is when the TMZ dry run came out. Why do they keep calling it dry run? These guys never called it a dry run until I called it a dry run. 13th of September. Here is perhaps the earliest reference. This was timed at 4:46 p.m. Mountain Time, 13th of September, an hour or so after the TMZ dry run came out. The article does not include the footage, though it certainly appeared 2 days later. This shows Tyler Robinson walking outside Packard's house just before 10 a.m. That's not. There's nobody named Packard, you know. They got that wrong. And reference is made to the Dodge Challenger driving past at 8:23, though no footage of the car is shown. Well, it is shown. It was shown. Even in that footage, it was shown. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. This was broadcast in the UK independently. We can repeat that the footage from WYZE camera bears the timestamp and would seem likely that the surveillance was probably cloud synced, as we suppose that Samuel's but not Irwin surveillance was. Now it seems that Hughes has recently visited Orem and traversed the route that Tyler supposedly took. He proves that it is quite feasible to walk from Packard's house. Okay, there he goes. So they do have that parted. To the Steels in around 10 minutes. Though he has to postulate a slightly circuitous journey. Well, no, but that's the only journey. So, like, see, these people are clueless because they haven't been there. you know. So the truth is, when we see Tyler Robinson walking right here at 9:57, the only way to get there without going over and through people's yards, and by the way, we know that he's right here. Okay, we know he's right there. He walks by here right around 10:10. We know that. The only way to get there is to walk around like this, if you're staying on the roads, and down like this, and over here. You'd have to go through people's yards and over fences and so forth, but we know he's walking right here. So it's the only thing that makes sense is that he came from right here and walked around just like that and across. It's not, you know, when they use that word, it makes it seem sort of, you know, unlikely or just kind of like, you know. Finds nothing, and then he said,
1.21.
supposedly we're, okay, right. At this junction, we can wonder about Packard. Yeah, so they use circuitous, like it's sort of like not really the straightest line, but it is. It's the straightest line to do it. Man, we don't have any coffees, nothing. What's the difference, you guys? Does tonight's show just suck or what? I mean, it's unbelievable. I thought this was cool information. So he has to postulate a slightly circuitous journey. At one point, he speculates, hints, that footage might emerge of the maroon man with gray shorts from campus cameras. Of course. Right. I mean, because he's going to go through the tunnel again. See, I use common sense here, you guys. So if Tyler Robinson is walking this direction, you know, the man in the maroon shirt, well, there's a tunnel right here, and that's the only way out of here. So that's why I think it's going to be a dry run, and there's probably camera footage of him showing up on there. It's also possible he walked over here and looked, and then turned around and came back this direction. You know, I don't know, but the only way to get from where he was to over here is to go through the tunnel and then up the stairs again. Man. You see how these guys word things to try to make things seem like they're suspicious, you know? And then look what it says. That footage might emerge of the maroon man with... so this is my hint. That footage might emerge of the maroon man with gray shorts from campus cameras. He has managed to get extended footage of the Packard camera and seems to have made contact with... I don't know who Samuel Steele is. Clearly, Hughes has access to key sources. Man, these people only knew the truth. If I had key sources when I went to Orem, I sure as hell would have been doing a lot different stuff. I just happened to walk by that house the first day and ask, and he goes, "Oh, you want to come in and see it?" At this junction, we can wonder about Packard and how it seems that only her footage was used by the FBI. Perhaps an innocent explanation here is simply that the police were able to see the bulky WIZ cameras that they walked about, or else they had details from the cloud sinking, supposing we were getting right about that. Perhaps subpoenas were made to WIZE labs, but we have not come across any relevant information. Again, Hughes finds nothing suspicious in the error that he corrected about the 2-hour difference. Yeah, what's suspicious about that? I mean, we don't even know who wrote 807 somewhere. There's nothing suspicious about it to me. I'm just was there to correct an error. You know, I used the shadow analysis and corrected an error, and I assumed it was an error because I thought it was more likely directly after the original shot when he's walking at 9:57. Doesn't that make sense? Thanks, Rennie. Thanks for what you do, Gray. Really enjoy the collab with Paramount Tech. Yeah, I always like hanging out with him, talking. You know, he's a reasonable person.
Really enjoyed the collab.
And he's one of the people at Special Forces that's doing YouTube, but you know he does it for he's been doing it for a while, and you know me and him met during the Trump assassination attempt, but now everybody's coming out of the woodwork. You know, these Special Forces people, because their angle is, you know, it can't be a 30-06. You know, there's no way he's the shooter because they said it was a 30-06, and no way that would have done this and this and this and this. Where's the evidence of what? Steam? I mean, I want somebody, one of you conspiracy people out there, to come up with something. You can't do it. And the reason you can't do it is because Tyler Robinson is the killer. And it's just impossible when you guys sit there and go, oh, what about this? What about this? What about that one guy who looked up the Google Trends? Have you tried to redo what he did? It doesn't exist. Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking. Oh, I see. He probably said the same thing that I'm arguing with. You gotta type. You gotta tag people when you're typing, so that way I know who you're talking to. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just send a super chat each time they tell me that KSS saw. They say that I only respond to people with super chats, so let's experiment, see how that works. I swear they just like... I'm not riled up. I think this is fun, you know. But don't you think this is hilarious? Like, you guys all know me, right? Paulette, and you know, both Lisas, and everybody in here. Nader Bader. I've been doing this for a long time, and I come up with the same observations, and I mean, I think it's sort of a unique skill. A lot of people don't have the ability to do what I do. This is how I've been like my whole life on certain things. Maybe I'm slightly autistic or something. Who the hell knows? I mean, I'm just saying, I see things that other people don't see, and sometimes, like, I don't see something and then somebody mentions something, and then I'm able to place that in context with everything else. And then I start piecing things together. Like, I don't always notice the first thing. I notice things, and I put them down, and then some other things, and I verify what other people might be seeing, and I go, oh, ooh, wow, okay, that's right. And it's cool. Then you just keep moving forward. These people, there's a different conspiracy every single day. Doesn't that tell you something? Okay, get out of here. His mom took the shot. Jeez. Hey, thanks, Kelly Ray. Thanks for all your hours into this. Yep. And thank you, PJ here, who gifted a membership to Sirius Black, who used to be a member here a long time ago. Yeah, well, I'm not going to respond if you're going to say that the mother took the shot. I mean, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's see. We appreciate you guys on no politics. All right. Again, Hughes finds nothing suspicious in the error that he corrected about the 2-hour difference. And perhaps he is right, given that no timestamps were suppressed in the Packard footage emerging shortly after. Regarding Packard, it is slightly suspicious that only her footage, and by the way, that's not her footage. I know the person's name. She's the one that like got a hold of TMZ or whatever and got it out there. But in her area, even as the FBI drew only the steals, but we have no other reason to suspect the single mother of 2. Why do you have to like dox people? Like, who gives a crap about?
Thanks for all of your hours.
Let's see. Let's remark that this innocent bystander reminds us of Kathy Beckel, who spoke to Fox about the police searching for a rifle after Baron Coleman, something, We have not been able to replicate the results from a metric that may be unreliable, but we must in honesty say that we found and note. This guy's just trying to sound like intellectual, like they're really, figuring. It's not this complicated. Do you guys have that same feeling? Like this isn't this complicated, and it doesn't need all this overthinking here. It's almost insane, like just bewildering almost. On the building balcony wearing the maroon shirt. Yeah, I did. That wasn't him. He had long, poofy hair in the back. Did you miss that part? Jenna Splice? I went over that whole thing a while ago. What got Tyler? What do you mean? What got him to what? Physically to the point, or mentally to the point of being a shooter? Is that what you're asking, Rennie? Which one are you asking? What got Tyler to the point of taking the shot? I think he was trying to be sort of heroic for his boyfriend, who, Charlie Kirk, is, I'm not sure if you call him anti-trans people, but he was like, I mean, my thing is I'm not anti-trans. Like, I don't care if people are transgender or whatever. I just don't like the only thing I don't like is the men and women's sports. Biological males competing in women's sports. That's the only thing I give a shit about. I think women have worked too hard to achieve all the things they have just to be screwed over by men yet again. And I know this is a real thing because my mother, she got divorced from my biological father when I was like, I don't know, 5 or so. And then we moved to Vancouver, Washington. Then we moved to North Portland, a really rough town. I mean, there's people smoking cigarettes in 3rd grade, if you can believe that. And, that whole thing, that's what I mean, like the men in women's space, etc. So then my mother became, she worked really hard. We even had to have government assistance, but she put herself through night school and worked all day because she had 3 kids to raise by herself, and my biological father didn't pay child support ever. And so she had to do it by herself, so she went to night school, etc., etc. And then she became a real estate appraiser. And then she was so good at being a real estate appraiser that she was given sort of the corporate, what do you call it, the business appraisal, whatever, I forgot the actual term for that, but that's what the men used to always do. And she would do it, but she got paid like a quarter of what the men got paid. Like she was given the high stuff, it got about a quarter. So she threatened to sue the bank, and then they settled out of court, gave her, I don't know, some sort of a fee for, I can't remember exactly how it went. And then she used that money, designed a house on a tiny little lot, and then built the house, had it built with her design. And then the architect who built the house said, wow, that's such an amazing use of a small property, and stole her design and started building other homes that looked just like it. Yeah, so it's just, then she got remarried when I was like 10 or something. But she got out of all the depth all by herself. That was pretty sweet. But you see that? So that's what I feel like. Women have worked too hard and moved up, and then all of a sudden they have their own sports, they have this and that and the other thing, and would you really want to have a biological male changing in a bathroom with your kid that's a girl? Would you really want that? Yeah. So that's what I say all the time. Yeah, I said the bathroom. I mean, I didn't say it on this one, but I've said it 1,000 times on 1,000 different shows, and I've been saying it for 5, 6, 7 years now. And I was way ahead of the curve. I just never understood the logic behind it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why any woman would ever support that happening. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, guys, we need some more, what do you call it, waves going on. We're still not even close. We need 14 more channel memberships, something like that. That's how we would get to, it wouldn't even get to the point where I could donate the 5, but at least we'd be at some reasonable number. So if you guys have the ability to, that would be great. Hey, thanks, Lanky Tor. Anyways, let's see what the rest of this says. In sum, on balance, we now feel that many of our suspicions were unwarranted, though in our defense, this was not our fault. Yes, it is. As we are accepting the TMZ 807 timestamp, it remains that the epistemological problem is still pressing. At some point, the FBI came to believe that the man in maroon wearing gray shorts was Tyler Robinson. How come? Because the vehicle that showed up on campus that they have had his license plate on it, I would imagine, at 8:30. That's how they knew it was his. And then they saw the guy get out of the vehicle, and then they started tracking, everything. They work backwards, basically. They work backwards. Thank you, Rennie. Hey, you gifted one. 13 more, you guys. 13 more. I don't know what that means. My daughters would take care of themselves. I don't know what that means in context of what we're talking about. Right, and then it says, we can only think of one non-suspicious explanation here. That after Robinson was taken into custody, it was appreciated that Jesus, this guy talks more like Tyler Robinson than anybody. It was appreciated that his vehicle, allegedly with plate number T455CE, was then detected as being on campus at 8:29, as the Governor Cox said. And that also on this footage, a man looking like Tyler, very likely one and the same as Robinson, as it was his car, that's what I just said, was seen getting out with the said attire. Then he must, I haven't read all this, I just knew that they were talking about me. But yeah, that's how they did it. Then we must suppose that a little later, Tyler was seen getting back into the car and driving off so that he could make a 10-minute circuitous walk past Packard's place to the Steels around 10 a.m. 10:10. After his car was known, the FBI trawled through the presumably considerable footage they had so as to find Tyler on foot at that time. Well, they probably grabbed all the footage from those two homes and then realized that the same person they saw on campus was on both of those cameras. We still don't have Tyler Robinson on the TMZ original camera that came out, but he's definitely on that footage. I mean, it's just logical, right? See, that's how dumb, whoever this is writing this, their logic doesn't make sense. See, the thing is I'm going to say that, see how when he walks by right here, you guys? So I'll go back to 50, I think it is. Is it 50 or 51? Yeah, over here. So look. This is one that was out of order here. So see this? This is the second house. And as a matter of fact, look at the right here. Just look at this. See this part of the sidewalk with that square, and then right in the middle of the square, it goes down like this? All right, watch. There it is right there. There's the square, and then in the middle of the square, it goes like that. So he's walking right in front of this house. Do you think it's not reasonable to believe that he's also on this camera right here? I think it's absolutely certain that this camera, if it's not motion activated, picked him up also walking by, and this guy, this camera in this house has the time that he walked by in the maroon shirt, because moments later he walks by this camera. He didn't suddenly jump out of the woods and come just sort of walk there. All right? Do you get it? Are you guys paying attention? Or we need 13 more channel memberships, you guys. Even 14 would be good. Hello? I need you guys to focus on what I'm saying here. All right? And follow along, and, you know, I want you to see what I'm saying. All right? This isn't like I'm just there's no feedback. I hate it. It sucks. All right? So this house right here is the first one that TMZ put out. There's the dirt area back there, and then he ends up running around like this. This camera right here picks him up walking this direction. Just before that, he's obviously on this camera that has the footage, right? It's going to have the time that he walked by. So when I say that, they're going to go, Gray knows more than we do. And it's just logic. It makes sense. And then from here, the only way out of here is to go through the tunnel, unless he then walked back this way for some reason. I don't think he did that. I think that was a legitimate dry run where he walked. Part of this route's the same. You know, I'm sure he walked by right here. This camera across the street right here, I believe, has the maroon shirt Tyler Robinson walking down like this. And that's probably at like 10:03 or something. 10:04. Right here. And now, I think it's possible there's really just two good parking spots. One right there and one right here. So after his dry run, he may have moved the car up here just to sort of change things up. And he probably wouldn't want to walk extra distance with the gun in his pants. So from right there, he starts walking down. And then when he left, he had to go that direction because there's a fence here. So he jumps over, he kind of makes his way back here, then back up to the car and then out of there. That's my opinion on that. That's just speculation on that. Feeding back more? I don't know what that means. Yeah. I went out there specifically looking at spots. As a matter of fact, I mean, I can show you guys on my... the thing is it's so funny that you guys all watch these crazy conspiracy people, but a channel that's literally putting out the real shit, you know, it just can hardly get a look. It's crazy. What the heck? We got Wild Bill Wassman and then Short Bus Candid. 8. Did a 20 bagger on that one. Very cool. Look at that, man. This is going to be ringing and ringing and ringing. Short Bus Candid and Dixie Hippie. Thank you, Dixie Hippie. But, wow, thanks. Short Bus Candid. Man, we were just such, we were lagging around for so long, but that helped out a lot. Let me just finish this part. This must have been completed in 10-hour period. Let's see. Then we must suppose that a little later, Tyler was seen getting back into the car and driving off so that he could make a 10-minute circuitous walk past Packard's place to the Steels around 10 a.m. After his car was, after his car was known, the FBI trawled through, yeah, we already knew that. This must have been completed in a 10-hour period between the time that Robinson was caught to the time he was charged. This is tight, but possible. In this scenario, we must suppose also that at some future date, we will see what was never yet been released, namely Tyler coming out of and returning to his gray Dodge Challenger. Well, we don't know, but there's footage of him getting to his car before he went and parked in a secluded area so as to perform his dry run. Otherwise, how would the FBI have any reason to link that the man on camera was indeed Tyler? Because of the car, originally. They know it was Tyler Robinson's car. All of this stuff came out after Tyler Robinson was identified. This other stuff with the maroon shirt, that came out after Tyler Robinson was identified. Is there another page? That was it. All right. Well, anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, I was just going to show you. It's right over here. That thing just keeps blasting away on the new members. Very cool. October 30th. I think there's... Okay. Yeah, October 30th. I should be around for that one. Yeah, so check it out. Look at this right here. So down the street on the left is where that surveillance footage at 8:23 with the vehicle. Look at this spot, though. I tried to explain it to people. Look at this. This is a great parking spot here. See this? There's only this one car right there. Now imagine if on the other side of this car, the passenger door was open on the other side, and then you put the gun in your pants behind the door over there. Who would see you? You'd have to have somebody coming around the corner. As soon as you saw him, you would just put it back in the car and wait for a moment. It's a great spot. It literally is incredible. And so where this is on the map is right here. See that? Spot number 1. And here's the first surveillance shot. So I would imagine he drove around at 8:23, whatever, went on the campus, came back, and then eventually maybe parked right there. And that's why he's walking like this. Because I don't think Tyler Robinson walked this part on his final run. The only way I can see him walking this direction on the dry run is because he parked right there. And I drove around, and there's really only 2 spots that work. And one of them, somebody else mentioned, I didn't find it. So look, it's he walks from here, passes the camera, goes around. You know, you might ask yourself, why didn't he walk this way and down? But, you know, he probably maybe wants to get a glance over at where his wooded area is. But he walks around like this. And then he comes around, goes down, and then 10 minutes later, which is exactly the amount of time it took me to walk, he walks by this camera. Obviously, this camera has it too. We just haven't seen it, and that one does have time codes on it. And then, I think, because he's walking this direction, there's nowhere to go other than back or through the tunnel, because there's a fence that goes along here. So I think he went through this tunnel here, and he's filmed again. I think he's filmed going into the tunnel. I think he's filmed going up the stairs. I think every single thing, it's almost identical to the other one, other than he's wearing different clothing, and he doesn't have a gun in his pants. Right? And then, I think after he got back from his dry run, just watch this. He walks this direction, comes up. Now this time he may have walked this way. Don't know. I think he did actually. Because I talked to the guy with the surveillance here, and he said he checked, and he did not see the maroon shirt person again. Okay? So he watched all the way up until I think 1 or noon or something. So this is, he would have had to walk by there before noon. So that means when he came back, he got back some other way. So it's also possible, he did the dry run, but he didn't go back the same way he came. He could have, walked up here or something, and, we don't really know. He could have even, what's interesting, actually, is he could have done the dry run where he goes through here and even goes through the house with construction on it. Something like that to test it out, don't know. But eventually he makes it back to his car, and then I think he moved the car right down to here, to this spot. Now look at this one. This one is one that somebody else pointed out. I didn't come up with it. But you got a fence on that side, no cameras. Fence on that side, no cameras. You have that house there, and then that way there's so many trees that nobody's filming anything. So right here you can do the same thing. On the passenger side, you stand behind it. That car can't see what you're doing behind the door. That house, I mean. So, then I think that might be where he finally parked. Right there, because look where that's located, and it makes sense from here to not have to walk that far to be then seen on the camera at that house, filming the car walking in this direction, and then we see him, on camera doing that, and then we see him on camera walking by this house, and then he goes through the tunnel, and then he commits the homicide. Doesn't that make some sense? I think it does. I have a small screen. Is it just trees next to where he may have? I don't know, man. I can't do it again. No, it's not just trees. Yeah, and see, my original thought was the car was up in here. Very close to where these two are anyways. But when I drove around in here, there's really no other spots that look that good, really. Everywhere else, there's cameras everywhere. Maybe there's something far away up in here, but I don't think... How far would you want to walk with a gun in your pants? I think it's just this short distance, and that's really the only way to go. He knew he had to get to the tunnel. And, I guess he could have parked on this street, but I think this street is restricted parking. You have to have a school pass, but up in these, you don't have to have those. You can park on the side. I parked there, and so did Paramount Tactical. We parked right here, and the lady said, yeah, it's fine, but, campus police might give you one, but you're probably good now, because it was like 4 o'clock, I don't know what that means. I've already figured out where the escape was. YouTube handle 3. I've already done it. I've worked through it all. I've got it figured out, man. You must miss the shows. To me, it seems like he had to be on the campus before. What do you think? Yeah, although here's what I would say. If you watched Google Earth, if you look at Google Earth, and when he got there at 8:30, what if he parked his car, got out, and walked and saw, ooh, look, the roof is open. And then his dry run, he goes up there too, and I don't know, he could have even walked on the roof at that time because the event hadn't started, and maybe somebody, wasn't paying attention. I don't really know. So I think it's possible he could have done it all in that day. But the part that's makes you think, man, he had to have done something prior is just knowing that you could go up those stairs and then get up there and then step over a wall and hide and put your gun together. That part makes it seem like he had to have knowledge before he went up there. You know, before he went up on the final pass, he had to have had knowledge. He does a dry run at, it seems like anyways, at like 10:10. He's walking by that house. And so what was he doing from 8:30 until, you know, 9:45 or so? Ray, you're so out of touch. It comes to this case. Just stop. Okay, go ahead. Don't remove that one. Don't remove it. So, hey, I'm 10132. What am I missing? Go ahead. What am I missing? Hey, you guys don't need to respond in any way at all. I just want you to tell me, what is it that I'm missing? Go ahead. I'll say it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Go ahead, go ahead. I hated that character. God. Man, I hated that guy. I'm waiting. So notice how they always do this right here? AMA 10132. They never give you the answer. You ask them, what is it? You ask them, what is it? And they never give you the answer. I mean, put a 1 if you also hated Arnold Schwarzenegger, or whatever the hell his name is. Horseshack, right. I mean, that guy was the worst. That stupid laugh. Every time he laughed, I wanted to run. No, I want you to tell me something. Just say something. You're such an expert, man. I'm way off. I don't know what it is. So you give me one thing that points to somebody else. Go ahead. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's see if we can do. If we can get to 11 more channel members, I'll donate the 5. Okay, that's what we need. I'm helping you bring audience. No, you're not helping a damn thing. Okay, you're not helping anything. Your comments lose audience because they're so. What's the term? Almost willfully ignorant. Hey, YouTube Handle 3, can you just quit your crap, man? Nothing you're saying is going to turn out to be true, all right? I'm just letting you know, so. Let's see. Notice how they still haven't started yet? Give me something, I'm a 10132 to argue with. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead. You can do it. I know you can. You got 30 seconds. If you don't start with something, I'm blocking you from the channel, okay? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Well, that's the time I predicted, Kimber 123. I thought it was 12:23, 25, just based on logic and common sense. However, it turns out the precise time is 12:23:28. I'm sorry I was off by 3 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You lose. About to time you out. Okay? Wow. Okay, come back in maybe 30, yeah?
But Ray was his boyfriend.
Hey, look at that. BJ here
Seems
did
like
another
his
membership.
BF may be gone forever.
But Gray, was his boyfriend involved? Seems like his boyfriend may be gone. No, I'm sure that they know where the boyfriend is. Do you think the let me ask you this. Would the boyfriend be safe if we all knew where he lived? I mean, if we all knew where he was at all times, would he be safe? Given the sheer lunatics that you see that are covering this case? No way. Why is it difficult for you, Lanky Tor? I think that's the problem when people say it's difficult because somebody thinks different politically than you. You know, it should just be, you know, I mean, if you're married to somebody that thinks differently, that would be a problem, I think. Yeah, so now we need 10 more channel memberships. Now, if he identified as an animal, I'm sure someone would identify as a hunter. Well, I identify as a millionaire, man, and the government hasn't sent me a check yet. Well, the FBI has, because I'm spreading the narrative that they want me to put out there. Thank you, FBI. I'm just still waiting for my first check. Did you hear what Gray said? He all but admitted that he works for the FBI. And yet he's doing shows where he has to ask for support every 10 minutes on his damn show. Yeah. If you married to somebody who thinks differently, that would be a problem. It would be, yeah. Yeah. Right, so, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, you guys. We don't know what the situation with the white car is in that parking lot. It could just be random. It looks suspicious, though. I got to be honest. I don't know what it is. Well, I'm just sounding like how they sound. Yeah. Gavin Newsom's a joke. Let's be honest. Oh man, how could you like Gavin, man? He's an embarrassment. He's just, I mean, even if you live there, he sucks. He's terrible. Okay? He's an absolute joke. Let's see. Well, yeah, then quit talking about him. Yeah, he's absolutely, yeah, and guess what? Lisa lives there, Lanky Tor. Yeah, so you both live there. She doesn't think the same way. All right, here we go. I'm going to play this, you guys. We're going to show the entire sequence here. Watch. The whole damn thing. You probably haven't seen this, a lot of you. So this is the footage that I got. See, it starts at 8:22:01. I removed some of it just to synchronize the clips. So this is the vehicle at 8:22:03. Right? It's actually moving. 8:22:08, 9, 10. We'll go right down here because here's where it's going to come from. Can you guys see that? Here, let's make it bigger. It is playing, by the way. Here, I just saw it there. So there's a person over there by their car too. You'll see him right there. And here comes the Dodge Challenger. Right there. Boom. Okay, then he drives by right there. And then it's picked up on this camera. Right there, driving through. You see that? And it doesn't turn into the cul-de-sac. So what we're looking at right there is... we're right here at this house, just like this. And so the car drove by, and had it turned right, you would have seen it still on that camera, but it didn't do that. He drove this direction. And obviously there's nowhere to go going here because it's a dead-end cul-de-sac. And probably everybody on that street has a camera, I would imagine. Alright. Awesome. Just make sure to watch. And, you know, the car is behind this tree somewhere driving. Unfortunately, if now it changed time. And by the way, didn't that also prove how dramatically the time shifted? If it was 8:07 and that was 8:23, you would have barely seen a change. Oh, actually, we always knew it was 9:59, but I'm just saying. All right, here we go. 9:57:26. Right here, see him? He's coming. He's right there. There's the maroon shirt. He's walking by. Then you'll see him over here. Watch. Right there. You can barely see him. Right through there, right through there, right through there. And then the next one, he picks up right there. So I synced it up precisely to the frame. All right. And then he's walking by right here with his maroon shirt. And now this one I have him the whole time. There's actually 3 different 1-minute shots that he's on. But Gray, just because we have all the evidence and we see Tyler Robinson's vehicle doesn't mean anything. He was just sightseeing. Right, you're right, man. What evidence do we have that he was on the roof? Other than the fact that his DNA was on the trigger of the rifle that he took off the roof and threw into the woods. And his palm print on the roof. And his Chuck Taylor shoe print on the roof. But other than that, oh, don't forget the screwdriver found on the roof with his DNA on it. I mean, don't forget, all that stuff is meaningless. So right now he's walking behind cars on the sidewalk over there. Or he actually walked by. I mean, I don't know if that's a person there, but hold on, let's move that. Yeah, I don't think that's a person. But as he walks around here, you can still see him right there a little bit. There's even right there, just that little bit of movement right there. Then you got that, and then we have this one. Just moments later, 10 minutes later, he's walking by this house. Everything's exactly the same. That's why I knew to do the shadow analysis, because I figured it was just after that other one. I think I should get out in the sun a little bit. That was my voice on the actual video itself. Oh yeah, let's go back to that again, by the way. That's something I wanted to point out to you guys. I'm not sure that he has anything white on his legs. Because watch this. Right there. That looks normal, doesn't it? But those look like normal, just sort of light skin legs, right? Do you guys see that? That looks totally normal. But as soon as the sun hits it, because he has really light skin on his legs, the sun blows it out. And then look how bright that got. You see that? It just looks like he's got these white leggings on. So people would say he's wearing leggings. I mean, it looks sort of like that originally. That's just not the case. Let's see what it looks like when he gets in here. See, now it just looks like normal legs. See that? They're just light because he probably wears jeans a lot. Doesn't get any sun on him. See that? And he's, you know. So I just want you guys to... this was a great video to be able to show that. Just like right there. That's even skin tone in there. You can see it. See that? Right there. And then, as soon as the sun hits it, boom. Oh my God, look how bright that looks. Alright, and so then we have that walk, and then the next one, he's over here. Let's go to the next, that one. And we'll see, let's just see how it works on this one. Okay, that's, I have to go back one. There you go. This one. Yeah, so he's got really light skin. And it's crazy because in these ones, you know, it's the same person. But as soon as you get into the sun, look how light these things got. You know, look at that. And then your mind goes, oh my God, he's got some kind of weird leggings on. See? But he doesn't. Let's see what happens over here. See, in the shadow there, that skin tone. See that? Right there. It's just really light colored skin. You know, his arms. What you could do is compare, like, his legs to a little bit of his face there. It's similar. His arms are tan. But I bet you, if you took that shirt off, he's probably got a really light skin underneath there. Yeah, so this was all part of the dry run that we're watching. And then right over here, he turns right onto the grass. You can see because notice how he's about 4 feet from the curb right there, right? And then right over here, I don't want to, Kevin, I'm doing something else. And then right over here, he's right next to the curb. Now he's going right next to the grass, so he's cutting over. He's going to cut over and go over the bridge. All right. Then we're going to go back to this one. I don't care if it's a different backpack, you guys. Maybe he thought about having different backpacks like he had different shirts. It's just irrelevant. All right, this is when he comes in on the original camera. Okay, this is when he comes back to do his dry run. I've done another video where I compare their heights and they're like identical. If you didn't see that, it's out there. Hey, goth conservative, I just went over this thing. Were you not paying attention? Whoa, his legs are so wide it looks like he's wearing long johns under the shorts. Yeah, we just went over the whole thing, man. And then here he is limping. This is a really clear video. You know, and he's got the gun down his right pant leg, like the stock, and then probably maybe the barrel, and I think it's down the back of his leg, and then the barrel's down his left pants. One, mushy mystic. I just told you that. How come what's so confusing about what we're going over tonight? Man, this is the final one here. He just did the one dry run that I know of, wearing the maroon shirt. Yeah, by the way, I think he was almost changed his mind over here. See him in the corner? So watch this. He's coming right here. He turns. And it's like he sort of slows down. Watch what he does here. And he's like, I don't know. Ah, screw it. I'm going to do it. I came here to do it. Doesn't that seem like that's what he was doing? Because why else would you do that? I mean, what would make you turn around, or just? And then when he got to right after that, okay. So I'm showing you guys this because this is the reality of the case, not the crazy shit that you keep seeing on the the nutty, intentionally conspiratorial channels because it sells people. So right here, he turned. What we just saw is right there. He turned around, and then he went back. I don't think he saw somebody, Lisa. We've already gone over that. It wouldn't make you not keep walking. There's people in the parking lot, etc. There would be no reason to not keep walking if there's a person. Anyways, he went like this. He turned, and he walks this direction, and then he goes over this bridge here, and then right down there, there's no stepping at all. If you come down to right here, and then he got onto this little parking area right here, and then he goes into the tunnel right there. And then in the tunnel, I mean, I can show you guys all this if you want. I got it somewhere. I think it's not too hard to find. I think it's might be this one right here. Come on. But it's not opening it up. Weird. That was that. Oh, it was already open. Okay. 13. No, that's weird. How could that one already be open? Is that one that long? Oh, that's what this is. I forgot. Yeah, that is this one. Yeah, so I'm this is that walk this is the whole dry run walk right here. And now we're on the street with the 2 cameras on it. Okay, and then there it is. Right here is where he just made that turn onto the grass. There's a little bridge down there.
See that when you're just looking at Google Earth.
So he's going to go over that little bridge. Yeah, I mean, there'd be no reason to turn around if he saw somebody. There's people, they're going to be filled in the parking lot. There's people all over the place. So, it wouldn't make sense to get nervous about seeing somebody. See right there, and then here's where there's no stepping. So he's got the rifle in his pants. He gets down. Now, for some unknown reason, I walk that way first, but in reality, it's to the left. So I do go back. And so he would have came down right there and just went straight down this direction. It's a lot easier. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It was sort of interesting. It was just kind of like I'd seen it 1,000 times, but sure. I mean, I guess anything's possible. He may have seen somebody and went, "Oh, I'm really going this way," but to me, it just seems like I think he kind of had a second thought there for a second, because this is the home stretch. Like once you go here, he knows that you're going to be on surveillance and stuff, so there's no turning back, I mean, I guess he could have stopped at any point, and he would just be some random person on camera if he didn't shoot anybody. But anyways, right there's the camera, right? And that's what we got right here. See, there he is, right there. Okay, so that's exactly where this is, right here. He's standing right there. There's the camera that filmed that. And then he walks down the tunnel. Okay, I'm just showing you all the different surveillance and everything. Lisa Valenzuela took off. All right, and then right here, see the way the lighting is on this wall compared to the rest of it? And it even looks different, you know? But this wall right here, see the lighting? Now look right up here. There's a camera up in that corner. Okay, so, and this wall right there. Now let's go back to this. So after that shot here, walking into the tunnel, you've got this shot. And that's exactly what we're looking at, right there. He's right against this wall using that camera right here. See that? All right, see that? And then he goes up these stairs that are just right there. So look how simple that is. These are the stairs that were the tunnel that go under the road. Okay, so from above, it looks like this. That's the tunnel. It goes underneath this road here. And then at the bottom, at the end of the tunnel, he turns right. And then goes up some stairs that go like that and like that, but a floor below. So here we go. Those are the stairs right there. And right here is where this next shot will be shot from. Here we go. We're going to go. I'll just play this out. It's like 15 seconds. And then the next shot is this one right there. See that? That's where I am standing right now in this video. See? I'm standing right there, and we know that because that's the camera right there. Here he comes up the stairs, and then 3 different shots are taken right now, and I didn't turn it quick enough, but let me go back a little bit. So going up the stairs like this, and then comes around just like that. All right, and those shots are these ones coming up. Looks like I've only got 2 of them. Well, maybe 3. I don't know. 2 of them only look like they're here. I don't know why. Yeah, and there should be one after that. So let me add that. I got to add that in there. I'm sort of building this timeline thing. All right. Well, any chance to get those other 10 memberships, you guys? Then I'll donate 5 myself, so that'll be 15. Oh, surveillance. Yeah, it's this one. Wait, which one am I missing here? Oh, it's that one. There you go. Right there. Okay. So there you go. He goes up these stairs. And those are the 3 stairs right there, right? And he comes up to the top of those stairs and then walks like this. I think I've got this absolutely exactly how he walked. The least amount of stairs, etc. Well, good, Lanky Tor. I'm good. I'm just trying to get to the goal where I can donate the 5 memberships, you know. Seems like it's a struggle tonight. Although we've had some generous people. So look how easy this all is, you guys. Notice how, I mean, people look at me because I'm holding a weird camera, but nobody stopped me or anything. He's limping. Nobody stops people that are limping. Why are you limping on campus? Nobody says that. Okay. See you later, Lakey Tor. Thanks for being here. Get rid of Gavin Newsom. Ten memberships is equivalent to 50. So if you guys do 10 5s, that would work too. Could be wearing high white socks. He's not. He's not. We've just explained it all. Shiv Angel. What, did you just get here or something? Because we've already explained it all. He's not amazing at all. You know he isn't. He's terrible. I mean, literally, like, god-awful. He's an embarrassment. Let's see. Right over here. No, it couldn't be. It's not white compression stockings. We've already gone over it. We just went over the whole damn thing a few minutes ago, where you could see that it's light skin. You know, doesn't that frustrate you guys? Like as if they weren't here when we just went over that. So anyways, this is the route he walked with the gun in his pants. All right, I'm gonna have to pause it then, and I'm gonna go back again, you guys. It's back here. Watch this. Real simple stuff. Watch right here. Right there, he does not have white compression socks on. Do you guys agree? That's just skin tone. See that? That's just skin tone color right there. Do you see that? Can you see that? Put yes or no. Can you see it? You too. Galbert Garcia. Can you see that? Right. That's skin tone. But then watch, as soon as he hits the light, it's like, oh my god, they're so untan that they're really bright looking. Do you see that? See the difference? He didn't magically get white compression socks beamed onto his legs right there. So that's skin tone. You can see it. But then right when the sun hits those legs that haven't seen the sun in 10 years, boom. Looks like he's got white leggings on, right? So then that pretty much explains the rest of it, right? So then you get over, and he keeps walking around. Then on this video here, he shows up, and they look really light there. But, you know, even right there, for example, you can kind of see the skin tone. But they're just really light. But then as soon as he gets into the sun, like right there, oh my god, they're just bright as hell. And that's just his skin and the camera making him look way whiter than they are. See that? But right there, in that shadow, that looks like skin again. You see that? That looks like regular skin. It's just right in the sun where it makes, oh wow, look at those white leggings he has on. Does everybody get it now? Now, guys, this is a really massively long lull we've had here. Like a good 35, 40 minutes. Right. Okay. So, I'm going to go back to where we were at. He'd gone up the stairs, and we were walking to the Losi building. It probably went exactly this way. And you go around this corner. I think you walked across the grass, just like this right there, because, you know, I don't think he's going to want to, you know, why would you walk extra distance? But that's where he jumped off of. There's still some of that measurement, 2-inch markers right there. Yeah, you can disagree. You're just wrong, Lanky Tor. I don't think anybody in California really likes Gavin Newsom. He's terrible. He's destroyed your state. So, you know, you can vote for him if you want because he's cute. But other than that, I mean, the guy is pathetic. All right, anyways, then you come in here. Look, people were just walking by me, and I'm holding this camera up. Yeah, you can disagree. You're just wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying 1 + 1 is 17. It's okay, Lanky Tor. You're just wrong, but that's all right. Have a good night. No, he's been doing absolutely terribly. Jesus. My God. And then look, here's the stairs that go to the roof. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. You don't have to keep typing in First Amendment. The left are the people who don't allow First Amendment speech. The cancel culture, you say the wrong thing, they attack you. Really violent people. Let's see. Yeah, so then he gets to the top here. Look, he comes over here. Right? Look how easy that was. For me, just to get up there, look. And then he climbed over this little wall. This fence that's in front of me was not there. Right? So this fence right here was not there. You could walk all the way out to there. So all you had to do was step over. I think he was right there on the end, because that would make it harder to see for somebody showing up. And so he goes right there. He lies down. He puts the rifle together, gets up, and then runs to the corner of the roof, right over there. So he gets there at 12:17. He climbs over the wall. 12:22. He stands up and runs, and the limp is gone. The limp he had. Oh, the Epstein files. Oh, my God. You know, he's the one that made the Epstein files available to look at. But guess what? The Democrats never used the Epstein files. And here's a conspiracy. They never used the Epstein files against Trump while he was running because it wasn't there. I think they doctored the Epstein files, and now they want everybody to look at them because they know what they put in there. Just like the Russia collusion bullshit, all that stuff.
Everything is bad when it blew.
Just lolling, funny word, isn't it? But Gray, look, everything is bad when it blew. Well, thank you, Dixie Hippie. He's treading all over that state. Yeah, I mean, he's the one that got Epstein charged. Why would he do that if he thought he was in the documents somewhere? Isn't that weird? So I think lately they've realized that it's probably in there. I mean, you can tell by his comments that he knows it's in there, but it's not legit. And see, the Democrats will do whatever it takes to win. We've seen it. Russia collusion, all the stuff about, he said that it would be a bloodbath if he's not elected, that there's good people on both sides that are what was that in Charlottesville? I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It was they'll do whatever it takes, and then lawfare just every single week or something is another lawsuit. And guess what, man? The American people were smart enough to look through it all and voted him back in. Thank God. I mean, I am absolutely thrilled with what's going on right now. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I think the stuff he's doing on the drug, people, they know who's on those boats driving around. You don't pull them over, bring them in, and do all. You just stop it. People don't care if you get arrested. You get sent back, and then you can start over again. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why they say stuff like that. And what if they did see him? Maybe there are people in there. You know what they don't have is a door in that glass room to get out. So what if there are people in that building looking out there? They don't have time to say anything. There might be witnesses that were in there, though. But there's no door like, hey, everybody, we're going to go out on the roof now. Yeah, it's been. You know why it's been divided, Lanky Tor? Because every single day the Democrats, they're the ones that are not allowing the government to open. They just wanted to pass the same bill that they've had, keep it running, and they don't want to do it because they're looking for the next term election. Look how hard you fought, everybody. Yeah, and they keep saying fascist and Nazi, blah, blah, blah. Tell your people to quit doing that. Yeah, that's the part that's causing all the problems. Let's see. Hey, thanks Lisa Valenzuela and Christy for the coffees. But yes, our country's really too divided. Pete Keg's breath? What does that even mean? Oh, God. So, yeah, so you're like the classic, just lefty, you know, come on, man. God, ridiculous. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Lanky Tor's always been nice. We just don't agree. Yeah, you don't really talk about anything. You can talk to me though. I'm talking about your. They don't talk. They just physically attack and. No, I didn't. I haven't seen the extended. Do you have a link to that one? I think I saw it originally, but I could never find it again. Can you send me the link on that? Suspected down, whatever. Can you send me that? Here's my email. I'll put it right here. Just send me a link really quick, all right? If not, it's always frustrating when people mention something, but they're not prepared to give it to you. I don't know how it got brought up. Somehow Gavin Newsom got brought up or something. I don't know. Right. That's why I don't want politics talked about. And I mean, I'll bring up something sometime because it's just part of. I'm not going to shy away from. Like earlier when I was talking about the transgender, I don't have any issues with transgender people. I just don't want them taking, you know, something considered to be a female job or go into the bathrooms or do sports. You know, that's it. But you can, other than that, like, just don't. You know, don't tread on everybody else, I guess. Did you send it? Where's the email? No. Why would it bias my? What does political views have to do with the investigation? What kind of a stupid comment is that? That's ridiculous. What does that have to do with anything? Your political views bias your investigation. So let me see. I would think differently if I was a liberal because what? There's nothing changed here. I don't care what the, you know, like, for example, the motive in the case isn't something that I focus on a lot here. I focus in on who the killer is based on the facts of the case. So I don't really care what the motive is. If it was a conservative person, I'd still be, you know, have the same information that would lead to the same person. So it just seems like a really dumb comment, you know. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Just weird. We actually covered the Jody Arias case all over again, like 2 years ago. Did you show up for that Lanky tour? Or 3 years ago, maybe. It was pretty interesting to start from the beginning. I don't know. No, I'm not going to tell anybody any of that stuff because you guys don't know if something was doctored or, you know. Which video are you talking about? The one that shows up at the mall or the one that I have or what? What are you talking about? Where do these people come from, you guys? It's just like, it's crazy. Anyways, so here he is. Where'd it happen right there? Hey, we got to go back up there. Oh, I guess it was all the way to the end. Yeah, so like I said, at 12:17 he goes over the wall. 12:22 he runs over there, shoots, fires. Then he runs behind that atrium or whatever you call it, and then climbs down right over there. But let's just go from here. He climbs over the wall, and at 12:22, the limp is gone because the rifle is out of his pants. He's put it together with a screwdriver. The screwdriver was later found on the roof, and it had Tyler Robinson's DNA on it. But he stands up at 12:22 and runs over here, fires, and then we get to this stuff. Or he doesn't fire yet. He runs over there, right? And then this is the one where he's laying down after he ran over there. There he is right there. And I stabilized this video. Look at that. See how it moves around? I kept the shooter in the right spot. Then there's even a shot where he stood up there. And that's the little white logo on the front of his shirt you can see right there. And then there's the one after the shooting. Boom, he shoots and he's running on the roof. And then there he is running on the roof again from that position. Now he's running over there. You know, that would be sort of interesting. Let's try something here. I didn't even think of that till just now. That's crazy. That shadow's almost exactly the same as the actual video. Look at that. Yeah, so he's like right there, coming around right here. Well, they have that at 36 yards. So that's further than he had ran from where he shot to where he shows up on the video. So it's 36 yards there. And how long does that take him from right there? 44. Yeah. Wow, so he made it right there. 40. Ah, shoot. 50. 51. 52. Yeah, wow. So 8 seconds to go 36 yards. So 6 seconds to go 22 yards, right? I mean, so it absolutely works for, getting up really quick and then boom, 6 or 7 seconds to run from the roof to the 34, almost 35, I guess, if you want to throw that in there. And he climbs down, and they're going to have on camera him actually going all the way to the woods. Picks up his glasses. Now he's putting his glasses on right now as he runs across. That's slow. 36 yards in 8 seconds. So that'd be 16 seconds to go 72 yards. Roughly 20 seconds to go 100. And that's incredibly slow for a 100-yard, like a slow run would be 15 seconds, Right, so he goes right over there. Looks like he crosses. He actually goes onto the rocks there. He walked on those so easily. And then the next thing you see is him running back here behind in the dirt. So right after you see him go, then he's in different clothing. And people don't seem to understand, but when you see him over here to the left, it takes him a while to get there, but it might be that he went up to a street up there to try to get over that fence first, or he went to that wooded area, and maybe that's where he threw some of the clothing. Well, even meters would be slow, because a meter is only 3 inches longer than a yard. So here he comes. Right here. And then look. So right there you can tell he's wearing shorts, right? See, that's a leg with the white pant. Watch. See that? Right there. Look at that. And then he looks like the maroon shirt. See? See how you can see the maroon tint in there? So he's got the maroon shirt on. And it looks like shorts and his shoes. Now, I don't, that's what it looks like to me anyways. That's all we got. Because TMZ put out a garbage video. But I see maroon and I see like shorts, and that's about it. Then after that, we have this footage here. Of course, the person didn't send me it. What are you trying to send me here, man? You sent me a link out to like old archives, and man, that's just overthinking, man. Overthinking again. It's actually 12:04:20. I already told you earlier. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I'm not going to be able to go through your email. I already have all that stuff out there. Anyways, all right, so we got this parking lot here. Apparently there's more later. This happened at 12:45 though, so it was literally within 16 minutes. And then apparently that car drives around, and then they all leave. They both leave together. And I don't know if that's him up there again. I don't know if that is or not. Is that what you're talking about? That's not his vehicle there. Alright, you guys. Too long of a lull for me. I gotta get going here. Do you guys see anything? It's been 3 hours as well. Yeah, it's not it. You know, see, I just got an email from that YouTube whatever name, and he's already got the information incorrect, but they're sending it to me anyways. The shot wasn't at 12:23:26. Okay, it wasn't, and that's not true. I also just told you at the beginning of the show I have the actual time frame at 12:04:20 is when the video starts. I've already told you that. You know, so I'm not sure why you're sending me something that's incorrect as a rebuttal to something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Nah, I think it was 12:45, not 12:48. You can actually see it right here. The vehicle's right there at 12:44:50. Are you saying that he comes back at 12:48 and I don't have it? Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything at 12:48. So I guess I don't have the longer version. Nobody sent it to me. Oh my God, Robinson and Crowd again. I hope that's not that same footage that we keep seeing over and over and over again. God, if this better not be the same retreaded stuff.
If this is Tyler Robinson, they need to let him out of jail right now. How could he be in two?
What kind of an idiot? See, these people are so stupid. You sent me the same crap that's already been debunked. Go on to Twitter. They have a video of the guy. He's just sitting there. He doesn't look anything like anybody. He has nothing to do with anything. He's just another person wearing a maroon shirt. I guess they should have banned maroon shirts that day. Yeah, come on, you guys. Be better. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Thanks to Mariska. Then we had Allie Cake. And Mariska been here for 3 months. All right. Christopher Cunningham. And then we had Wild Bill Wassman. Cold Truth, 57 months. Shenanigans, new member. Then we had Cheryl, 4823. Gifted membership to Michelle H, 27 months. Thank you. Then Allie Cake and Christopher Cunningham, and then Michelle H. Let's see. I guess I could do it up here. Now, there's only 36 people. We've had like 50 something lately. Yeah. And Shenanigans, then Cheryl. Then Allie Cake and Chris Cunningham again. Love this channel in cases you cover. Yeah, well, nowadays we just have to keep covering popular ones or the channel would collapse on itself. Michelle H. and then Chris Cunningham and then this account. Wild Bill Wassman. Nader Bader. Then Paramount Tactical was here. He was making a joke. Just to have a, let's see, I think it was just to have to go look to the light and squint real hard, meaning Candace Owens is really in that document. Vicky Cobb, and then we had Shenanigan, gifted 5, then Chris Cunningham again, and then Lisa Belson, gifted 10 memberships. Then Chris Cunningham, Lowell Repellent. Then Lisa Belson again, thank you. Always so kind. And then Jim Lawn, 5302. Then Chris Cunningham. Rennie, thanks for what you do, Gray. Really enjoy the collab with Paramount Tactical. Well, thank you. Kelly Ray. And PJ here gifted one. Then Rennie. What got Tyler to the point of taking the shot? I didn't understand. What did she ask about that one? I mean, if it was about like defending the boyfriend, and that's what it was about. I think that's probably what it's about. I think I answered that, didn't I? I think he was just trying to be, you know, look what I'll do for you. And then Rennie gifted one. Thank you. And then Wild Bill Wassman gifted one. And then Short Bus Candidate gifted 20 memberships. And then Dixie Hippie gifted one. And PJ here gifted one. And then Susan Smith and Dixie Hippie. There you go. Yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, at least we got somewhere. It wasn't, you know, I wasn't able to get to the number where I could donate something, but hey, at least we didn't collapse. It was just such a slog, the difficult time for the support for some reason. I thought it was a good show. I thought I was like, you know, went through a couple documents. Things that are people writing, went through the whole timeline pretty much again. I'd love to have that surveillance inside the tunnel. That would be pretty good. Yeah, I thought I answered it. But anyways, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow, all right? And who knows what tomorrow will bring, huh? So as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Oh, and also thanks to Lisa and Christy on the coffees. All right. Let's see you guys later.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pop protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his spectre. With all respect, y'all, just remember I'm a type of fucking injection. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow.